to, oh, okay, sorry. YouTube was lagging a little bit and Facebook come on a little faster. So I'd like to welcome you all to my channel, Spiritual Talk with Spirit Mother. I am Tara, as you all know. Today we're going to talk about religion and ignorance. The reason I chose this topic today is because of an experience that I have, and as most of my talks are with regards to my own experiences, because I know I'm not the only one experiencing this stuff. Now, today was going great. Like, I'm not each to their own. Everybody has a religion, what have you, and that's okay. It's the part where when ignorance comes into play with religion. Okay. I'm a very spiritual person, very open-minded. I don't knock someone's religion because, as I stated before, it all comes back to the same thing, only it's being told differently. Or we're saying that, okay, only my religion is going to heaven or doing this or what have you. No, it doesn't matter what religion you are. Okay. So now today I had a great day. I went and got a few groceries and I went and I had a bite to eat, and I was walking up the road and I seen these people, some people, they were standing on the corner by the bank and they had this thing up, and I was curious. I wanted to see what they were advertising or what have you. So I walked up and I looked and I started talking, and I looked down and it had Jehovah Witness and it had all these different booklets and what have you. Okay, so I was talking to them, and I started talking in my language, and they were asking me, what language are you speaking? One woman thought I was speaking Portuguese or what have you, and I told them the religion that I was speaking, or not religion. I told them what I was speaking: light language, God's language, universal language, tongues, what have you. And they were kind of looking and they were like, do you believe in God? And I was like, yes. And she started telling me about Jesus and what have you, and how he's coming back. And I told them, like, Jesus is already here. And like, they were very interested in what I had to say. So I was standing there and I was explaining like what I was speaking and what I felt, and I told them that I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I believe in God and what have you. And they were very understanding of that, and they were very, like I said, very interested. And I don't knock people's religion because I don't care what religion you are. You can still be good people. But when you're using your religion to throw shade on people and have people think, oh, well, because you don't have a religion or because you don't believe the way we do, then, right? That'll probably come up as my picture, but that's okay, that face, because it did last time. So, moving on, I was talking to them, and I was just about, because they said about taking a book, and I seen where it said awake, and I was going to take the booklet because I've had encounters with people of different religions and what have you, and people say about about other people's religion, it's like, you be your judge and I'll be mine. And I've had Jehovah Witnesses like come to me and they've helped me and everything like that, and they've not tried to change my religion. They weren't ignorant to me. So when I went to get one of the books, a man come up, and when the man came up to me, he started talking. He said, do you believe in God? It's like, yes. And he asked me what language I was speaking, and I told him. And his reply was, well, God don't use that language anymore. That was just temporary. And I'm just kind of looking at him and like, whoa. And he's like, do you know God's name? And I said, God has many names. He's like, no, God has one name. And what was it he said? He said, he has many titles. God has one name, but many titles. So he was trying to get me to say that, like, to agree with him. And it's like, no, I'm not going to agree with you. And it was just like, he was so ignorant. He said, well, I have a name. My name's Michael. I said, well, my name's Tara. And he kept telling me, he said about 3 million people are going into Jerusalem and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm going to tell you all right now, if you think that it's only your religion that's going to heaven or that's going to ascend, you're sadly mistaken, and that's pure ignorance. Because it doesn't matter what religion you are, because God does not have a religion. Okay, so when I wouldn't say that my God was Jehovah or what have you, because to me, God has many names. You are a God. I am a God. We are made in the image of God. Well, he was just like to me, well, we don't want to talk to people who don't believe in Jehovah. Whoa. It's like, what? Like, really? And I just like started going, like I started speaking in my language. It's just like, and I just looked at him. I said, really? I said, you really know you shouldn't have done that. And the women, they were looking, it was like, and I could feel them thinking, because when he come up, I could feel his energy. And I could feel him wanting to hurt me and burn me. He didn't like the light. So I was standing there and I was like looking at him like, oh, really? It's like, you shouldn't have said that. And I kind of looked at them, and the women were just like, and I could tell, like I could feel them and I could hear their thoughts, and they're just thinking, oh my God, you just said that to her. You have no clue who she is. Because he told me that God doesn't speak that language anymore. Everything is about the Bible. God speaks the language through the Bible. No. Okay? The Bible is written by man, and people would say, oh, well, it was through spirit. Okay. But it was also manipulated, and there was aspects of the Bible left out. Okay? I'm not saying the Bible's wrong. I'm saying that they're all right in aspects of the way that people are looking at it. Okay? Everything happened to people differently, because some people, it experienced on different planes, different timelines, everything like that. And some of you would be like, oh, well, lady, what the heck do you know what you're talking about? Timelines, dimensions, all this crap. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Did you ever see things that were real and you just couldn't explain, but the doctor tells you, oh, you're delusional, or it's psychosis or schizophrenia? No, it's not. You don't need to get to God and speak to God through a religion, through a church. You speak through here. Like, last year, I actually had a woman call me, and she said she was Jehovah's Witness. And Well, I was on the phone with her. I started speaking my language, and she was just like, "What language is that?" And I told her, and she asked me, "Have you ever read about the 1,000 different languages?" It's like, no, I haven't. So I did go on their website, and I had back years ago, I had a female Jehovah Witness. She come to my house with their pamphlets and stuff like that, and she asked if she could come in. I was like, "Yep, sure." Like, I'm letting you know right now, I'm not changing my religion because I really don't have one. I was baptized. I was baptized united, but to me, united means everyone. Okay. Whatever it means to someone else, well, that's what it means to you. But to me, it means everybody united together. It doesn't matter what your religion is, what your belief, or what have you. Somebody told me today, like, okay, well, if you have, like, it's, you have to not discriminate against any religion or anybody's belief, which I know that because I also know that people weren't born bad or evil. People were made that way because of the way we've been treating each other. And if some don't like this topic, well, that's okay. You don't have to watch it. But this is my experience, and I've seen it a lot. And I actually was dating a guy back years ago who was a Jehovah Witness, and he told me that because he didn't have the same beliefs, he was thrown out and disowned by his family. That's not of God. I'm serious. That is not something of God. God does not throw family away. God does not discriminate against your religion or your beliefs or anything like that. God is with everybody. So it ticks me off. And the guy is really lucky. Like, because I really, like, some would say, oh, yeah, he's so lucky. Well, yeah, because I really wanted to rip a strip off him right in the middle of town with people all around. And you know what? I actually should have. Because it wasn't the women, it was men. And here back last year, I had someone, a pastor, bring me a card and leave it in my door, and I read the card, and there was a face, a face, a thing at the bottom for Corinthians, and it gave Corinthians, and it gave the numbers and what have you, and I went and I read it, and it was like, women shall submit, or sorry, wives shall submit to their husbands. Really? Nobody should be submitting to anyone because we are all equal. We say, okay, a man's got more testosterone and women's got more estrogen. Well, in actuality, our DNA was manipulated because originally we had equal. Hence, female, male, yin, yang, center. Okay, what's that song? Ebony and Ivory. Okay, we are man and we are women. I was explaining this here the other day to someone. Okay, and I'm going to explain it here right now. Okay, think of a woman's body, think of a man's body. Okay, both male and female have breasts, only women grow bigger for the most part, right? Okay, so now take testicles. Okay, a man's testicles, they fall out. Okay, and they're on the outside. A female's testicles, we call them ovaries. They are on the inside. Okay? A penis. Okay? Women are like, I don't have a penis. Yes, you do. A man's penis grew. A female's penis is called a clitoris. Okay. So we both have male, female. Okay, man, they don't have a vagina. Okay, maybe they don't have a vagina, but that's the only difference, ain't it? Other than that, we all have breasts. We all have testicles because they're testicles and ovaries. And we all have a penis, only it's a penis and a clitoris. So as far as submitting to husbands, like I said, nobody should be submitting to anybody. And that's where religion comes into play. And they think that this is the way it's supposed to be, but it's not. This was never the way it was supposed to be. If you watch ancient civilizations, there's a bunch of different things on there, and it said at one time it was the women, because women are more peaceful and what have. And I know, like, there's some women, they can be worse than men, and some men can be worse than women. And we say about men and we say about women, it's like, look at yourself. Okay, so today when the man said that to me, I could tell he was trying to intimidate me. It's like, no, 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 no. And that's what I did to him. I was like, and like I said, I told him, you shouldn't have done that. It's like when you're telling someone that, oh, well, it was like this and God only had it temporarily. Well, I told them. That was the original language until we got separated. And one of the women, they asked me, do you know any other people who talk like this and that you guys can communicate? And I told her straight up, there's more and more people coming. I'm finding out more and more about these people, and I want to meet them so that I can have a conversation with them. I see them on like, they're on YouTube, and some are on Facebook and what have you, and they're teaching it. I had a friend of mine that someone she knows, she was recording her 5-year-old granddaughter, and her granddaughter is speaking light language to her Barbies. But we're taking our kids for speech therapy because we can't make sense of what they're saying. Why don't we take the time, instead of shunning someone like that man did today? We should be talking. Invisible, like imaginary friends for our kids. They're not imaginary. I'm telling you right now, they're not imaginary. Your kids are actually seeing someone on a frequency that you're not on, a vibration that you're not on. Our children are awake, and we are putting them to sleep. We are allowing other people to manipulate our kids, to manipulate us. We're letting a book, we're letting a TV, we're letting a radio, we're letting everything other than ourselves take charge of us. Why? That's not what God intended. That's what the greed and corruption and the ignorance intended. But when you have someone telling you Well, we don't want to talk. We don't want to talk to you because you don't believe the same or because you're not saying what they want to hear. You're friggin' ignorant and you got a lot to learn. You got a lot of lessons to go through. This is what we're doing right now. We're going through lessons. This is part of the ascension process. He's got a lot of shadows and he appears very bitter. And to me, this is just my opinion, but he feels like he's freaking privileged and he's the only one going to heaven. If you think that way, shake your head. Because God helps people. It's being kind to one another. Not thinking you're better than the other person because your religion is one way or your beliefs are one way. Some would say spirituality is a religion or a cult or what have you. Everything is a form of religion. Every belief is a form of something, one thing or another. But spirituality, true spirituality, you are open to everything. The ladies today, they liked me and they were very interested, like their eyes were lit right up. It's like one thought I was speaking Portuguese, one thought I was speaking Italian, and I told them it's all the languages. It's the original language before they divided us and separated us and turned us against one another, thinking, oh, well, my beliefs are right, when we all had the same beliefs. Because some judge other people for what they eat. Well, if that person wants to eat that stuff, that's up to them. If they eat it and they get sick from it, well, that's their choice. We want to I don't want to say persuade because that's like manipulation in a way, but we want to help guide people and teach them better ways of living, that you don't have to be sick. I had somebody tell me like they didn't like their doctor because their doctor wouldn't prescribe them medication. The doctor told them, you want to like take like help take away your pain, your arthritis and stuff like that. Eat the right foods, exercise, get out in nature, get out in the sun. And some people are getting ticked off because the doctors aren't handing you a prescription. Well, you know what? I say, hallelujah. I'm glad. Because those are poison. You need to look, okay, you take one, like I said before, you take one pill, then you got to take a pill for the side effects, or it creates more problems with your body. They tell us radiation's not good for us, but they're but they're radiating us for cancer and all this stuff. What's up with that? It's not good for us, but they're saying, oh, well, here, we're going to do this to get rid of this. Well, that's not the right way. Because they do actually have the cure for cancer, but because Big Pharma is not going to make any money off it, they don't want you having it. But it's actually out there. And some people are aware of it. They just don't put it in your mainstream face. You got to dig for stuff. Some people tell people they're crazy because they believe in UFOs and extraterrestrials and aliens and what have you. You're a starseed. You're here having a human experience. Did you ever feel like you were different and you just didn't fit in? And they tell us because we're different, we're the misfits? No, we're not the misfits. We're not misfits. No one. is a misfit. Anybody remember that cartoon? I think it was called The Misfits back in the 80s. I used to watch it. It was Saturdays or like in the mornings. Astro Boy. I love that show. Hercules, all that stuff. It's not myth because, as I said, myth is my truth. It is our truth. We're told that all this stuff is fake because they don't want us to be able to get to God through ourselves. They want us to depend on something where they're making money. They're wearing these crowns and this gold. The buildings are made like you go in and it's like, whoa. It's like, are you worshiping God or are you worshiping the gold and the money? Because you're sure the heck ain't giving it to the people like you're supposed to be. Because one minute. Oh, okay. I say about UFOs and extraterrestrials and star seeds and what have you. It's real. And like I even called the news the day that I recorded this out my back door, or my bedroom window, or what have you, and I contacted news. They had no interest in it, even though they had it all plastered over the news. Oh, the military shot down a UFO. Foreign number. Puris ka naman ah. Eskolea numiga da numigata. Se tu le boto puri ka paia, skini me noi. Tiskiti tan. Eskolea skuria tutori purigai. I'm going to show you, the video. Okay. Oh crap. I posted it to my Facebook and I also posted it to my YouTube, and should have had it ready, but I didn't really know that I was going to do this. I guess I'm just going with the flow as I am supposed to be. Okay. This is the 39-second one. Just give me. Oh, crap. Hold on. What's it not going to let me have it now? Oh, there. Okay, hold on one sec. Because I got a light shining in it. Okay. We're going to be in the dark for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to play it. Oh, crap. See? Look at that. Keep watching. See that stuff moving in it? Okay. So that's that part of it. Oh. Okay. Now just, whoa, that was weird. Okay, now this one. Oh. Shoot. Okay, I know you're thinking, lady, like, what are you doing? But I'm trying to show, and it just wants to mess with me. Skip survey. I hate that. The History Hit Network. Okay. Close that. Shush. Okay. One sec. Nekode means that's so cool. And thank you. Now watch. See? Oh. Well, you're seeing the two lights anyways. Okay? That happens. That happens in my backyard. About 4-5 days before that, I was looking out the back, and at first I thought it was a plane. It was in the dark. It was near dark, and they got the stuff that goes behind. The only difference was it was like looking at a 2-lane highway, the divided highway, and you got the white lines, the white checkered lines for passing. That's what it was like. And it started off small, and then what ended up happening, it come up and around, and it come up the side of my house. And I was looking, and all of it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was like compartments, and they were all lit up. No, I just heard someone say, lady, you're seeing things. No, I'm not. Because I'm not the only one seeing it. A lot of other people see stuff. Okay? And the Book of Enoch, it actually talks about it in the Bible, but the way that it gets interpreted is not the way it's meant to be. It's twisted around. Okay? And I feel really bad for this man who talked to me like that, because this is my opinion. It shows how close-minded people really can be when they are, I'm going to say it, manipulated and brainwashed. It's a program. Okay? I'm not saying don't go to church, because that's up to you. Because to me, church was always supposed to be about community, and it didn't matter what religion you had or what domination or whatever the heck it's called that you came from. It was all about family. And they charge you to get married. Really? Why? You shouldn't be charged to get married. If you want to get married, walk out in your backyard or your front yard or out in the sidewalk, look at your wife, or you look at your girlfriend or your husband or what have you, and say, I so-and-so take ye so-and-so to be my husband, and make your vows. You're doing it under the eyes of God. These people that are telling you you're going to pay to get married, you're going to pay this money so that we can have you on record as being married, and we can take a bunch of other money from you. It's all to keep tabs on you. God doesn't ask you to pay money to get married. You want to get married, get married. Say your vows to one another in the eyes of God. There's not a lot of people getting married in a church now. A lot of people are getting married outside. When I got married outside. I got married at a duck pond. But they charge you to rent the spot. But that's fine. It's a vendor. But you don't have to get married in a church. You don't have to, like, the way I look at it, and this is my opinion, as I said, and I'm allowed to have my opinion. And I know that there's many out there that feel and think the same way. It's the religious aspect of it. It's all about rules and control. If you have your religion, I say good, but we can't be pointing fingers, and we can't be killing people and hurting people in the name of a religion, because you're using God as your reason for doing. God does not want you to kill. God does not want sacrifices of people. That's not God. And anyone, if you think that that's of God, that somebody's gonna, like, helping people, but throwing people in war, because we're not doing, we're the war. If you look, what's it been doing for us but creating more? They throw history class in school. Well, are we learning anything from it, or are we just keeping it going and repeating it all the time? You would have thought they were teaching World War I. You would have thought it would have stopped at that, hey? And if somebody's wondering, who do you think you are? My name is Tara. I am Tara, and I am a sovereign being. I am love. I am light. I am a creator. I am a mother. I'm many things. And someone just said, and I heard them say it, that I'm a bitch. And you know what? I already admitted that I can be a bitch. And, like, we have people who pass away. Okay, people die. They die suddenly, and we don't understand it. We don't know why and what have you. And the first thing we do is we blame God. It's not God. If you look, why are they dying? What's happening? There's an underlying factor, and it's not God doing it. You hear of people, just like young people and everything, dying in their sleep. What's up with that? Ask yourself, how many? Okay, you think, as I said before, think of World War I, think of World War II, and think of what's happening now, and think of the past of what they're saying is coming out. Okay, they had all these viruses coming out and what have you. Now they're all gone. But we're still stuck with COVID. And I did say the word yes. And if that breaks any rules, well, I guess I just broke a rule. But wait a minute. I didn't break a bad rule. The bad rules are what's hurting our people. What's hurting your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife, your grandparents. That's what's hurting us. Not because I said a word and somebody got offended over it and they want to censor you. Here, let's censor them. Shut them right down. If you're doing something bad and people are getting hurt, don't say it's for God, because it's not for God. Like, people blame God because something bad happened, and then they don't believe no more. Well, that's not right. for you, for the person that passed away, I look at it this way. Like, you're like that, and you, all of a sudden you don't believe in God, but you're paying thousands of dollars for a funeral, and for to have a funeral in a church and everything. Like, what are you having a funeral in a church for? What are you paying all this money for if you don't believe in God? Just freaking burn them and bury them. Stick them in a hole. But in actuality, you don't have to pay all this money. We pay it because we feel that that's the way to say goodbye, but it's not. But we want to have our, like, we want to see them for the last time sometimes. And it's all a moneymaker. But it's not God who takes people from us. And I get someone saying, yes, it is. No, it's actually not. We have, like, I know that there's people that say that they're atheists, they don't believe in God, but some of those people, when they're in trouble, they'll holler for God to help. No, not all of them. But the way I also look at it is, okay, do you believe in science? Because if you believe in science, then you believe in God, because science pertains to God. It all comes down to energy, frequency, vibration. I've seen people post things on Facebook and, or not, well, YouTube, Facebook, what have you. They're looking at planets and everything vibrates. Okay, that picture that I showed the other day of the UFO that was on the tower across from my property, it was vibrating, and that's why it looks the way it did. I'll show you this again. Okay. And whoever said we don't care, we don't want to see it, well, you can just go away and not look at it. Because see, that's it vibrating, and you can see the person in there, the being, and that's it, like, not vibrating, just catching it all lit up in the dark. This stuff is real. It's not fake. I actually have another picture, and it's so cool. And someone said to me before, it was like, well, that's just the sun shining. Really? Sorry. It's like, no, actually, it's not just the sun shining. Like, I could show you so much stuff that I have that it's really, you look at it like, where is it? Okay. There's the water tower I'm talking about. Oh, there's a little squirrel into there. There it is there. Okay. There it is there. There it is there. This was taken at night. I took that at the tower another day. There it is there. This is the same thing. It's because it's vibrating. Oh, hey, that's the moon. That's supposed to be the moon. So, and that's supposed to be the moon. Okay? I could show you all the pictures because I like taking pictures of this stuff. And I just heard somebody say, well, you better get something better to do with your time. Well, maybe you should stop being so ignorant and open your mind and free your mind and realize that not everything is as it seems. And just because you're not seeing it doesn't mean somebody else isn't. And we all say about pictures, well, some don't even believe a picture. Okay? We see weird, freaky pictures that we can't explain, and we get told, oh, well, that's your camera. Well, no, actually, it's not. Some things may seem like your camera, but people are getting images of people who are dead behind them. beside them. So it's like, really, come on. Okay, because I'm going to show you this all again. Okay, because you really need to think and realize that this is real stuff. Okay, I told you. Look at his arm. Look at his face. It's disappearing. That is not the camera. Okay? They want you to believe in one thing and depend on them to be able to get to where you want to go. Like, oh, we're your saviors. We're the ones that's going to save. No, you're going to save yourself. And that's what Jesus was telling us. But it all got manipulated and twisted around. And we're fighting wars to hide the secrets. And it's like, wait. Like, I know that there's so many people in the military that have witnessed things, but they sign a contract saying that they can't. But there are people in the military and like all through it, and like everyone is, people are coming forward, and people are going missing or things like that. It's like, wait a minute, why? If it's not true, then why are people mysteriously going? Okay? It's like shaking our head, because they do tell you stuff in the Bible, and I read the Bible when I was 12. I have a Bible. I have a lot of spiritual stuff around here. I collect angel figurines. I have like sayings up on my wall, and I have pictures that I took that are just different. It's part of being authentic. It's part of being me. And when you tell somebody don't be yourself, or that, oh, well, you got to believe this way, or you're not the right way, or you're satanic, or what have you, it's like, no, the satanic stuff is like people like treating you like crap and killing people and stuff like that. That's the dark side of it. And a lot of people are waking up to the truth, and they're actually seeing the truth that's trying to be covered up. And we're all pushing through. And that's why, like I say, like, if these people want to censor me or anything like that, because I'm speaking the truth, I'm speaking my truth, I'm speaking the truth, I'm saying stuff and exposing things, and well, I'm right here. We'll just keep coming back, because this war, it's going to end. And a lot of it already has. They're just playing it out like a movie. They're just wanting to cause fear and havoc and have everybody at each other's throats. But there's more and more people coming together, and they don't give a crap what each other's religion is, or what anybody's belief is, because they have the biggest thing in common. And that is the love, the compassion, the understanding. And everyone wants an end to the wars. We should have learned from World War I. We should have learned from every war, but we don't. Why? Because they keep putting it in your face, and it keeps creating more and more anger. Okay? Some are saying, well, it's only if you let it. Exactly. But when something is drilled to you, everyone starts blaming the people of now, even if it was the ancestors back eons ago. We're still blaming each other now. What's up with that? I didn't do it. And I just got somebody say, well, your ancestor did. Well, that's my ancestor. Go back in time, or go back and do something about that. But what it is a lot like they're putting it in your face and they're saying this is what happened, but nobody's fixing it. Like they're not trying to fix it for the most part. They're apologizing. And they're buying you off. Why? So you'll forget about it, and 20, 25 years down the road, they'll try to do it again. So the only way it's going to stop is if we stand up and we stop it. And I had somebody the other day, and I spoke up to them. They said, well, I'm one person. I can't make a change. Wait a minute. It only takes one person. Because if that person makes a change, then other people see. And then they start making a change because they see, well, maybe it does work. Okay? And some would say, well, doesn't that make you a follower? No, because you're making your own change. So you might be following at the beginning to say, well, okay, this works. Like maybe they're onto something. I had someone tell me the other day that somebody told them about me doing some healing and them saying, like, she must be on to something. Well, yeah, we are. We're on the love vibration. Okay, so and I told this person about the change, saying, well, if everyone thought that way, then there would be no change of anything. The best way to do something is to stand together. Because we all have the same common denominator. But we're all scattered and we're fighting over all the things that just come back to one thing. It's like a manifestation of chaos. This guy today, when he said about God did away with this language. Well, obviously God didn't, because it's coming back. Somebody else tried to do away with the language. Didn't like unity. Didn't like people coming together. Be an individual. Be unique. But be a community. Work together. Because everybody has something to offer. And when somebody feels, or someone feels that my way is the right way and it's the only way, no, it's not. Because things don't have to be as complicated as they're made. The long way isn't always the right way. It's just a distraction. Can be more adventurous, but only depending on what journey you want to go on. And I know nobody wants to be fighting. And if you do, go fight amongst yourselves and leave the people out of it. Because kreatan nikotodoi matotoi bisituturiata ekotodom Mishuninio kotegenia tatale no tukuri pato yaskri. Pikatotoim. Pikatuturiam laregri. When this pandemic all started, I put up that I weep for everyone. I cry for everyone. Okay, because I do. Because I feel you. I wake up every morning and in through the night, and I'm in panic, and I can hear people screaming. I can feel the people crying. I feel every bit of it. And I suppress part of myself. Because it can be hard. When you're feeling people, and it's not me screaming. It's not me in the panic with the anxiety. Because I have no reason to have it now. I am an extremely severe empath. And when I do energy healing, what I do is I take on your pain. I take on your energy. And I feel it. I literally feel it in my core. I feel it in my chakras. Because that's my way of finding out where your pain is. I told someone today that I know that once I come into my whole self completely, and others will be able to do it too, and some are already doing it. We'll just have to touch people and we'll be able to heal them. Okay? I was in the hospital and they were taking me to my room. And there was this elderly woman. She was laying on one of the gurneys because the ambulance had her out in the hallway. She was really sick. I could tell. And I was walking by and it was like my higher self just stopped. And I touched her. And I said something to her in my language. And the ambulance guy, he got out and he took my hand down and he said, "You can't do that. Go." So as I started walking away, the elderly lady, she just sat right up and she looked at the guy and she was like, "Who was that?" And then I had a woman in an elevator. She asked if I could stand in the back because she was afraid. She's petrified of elevators, so she had her friend there. And I started talking to her in my language. And I told her, "You're going to be okay." And when we got off the elevator, I told her again that she was going to be okay. And I asked if I could touch her, and she said, "Yeah." And I touched her, and I said some words in my language. And she looked at me, and she said, "How did you do that? And what did you do? Because while you were in there with me," she said, "I was not afraid." It's because of who I am. It's because of who you are. You can do things that I can't do. I can do things that you can't do. And we can all do things the same. Okay? Yes. What's happening is I'm an anchor, and spirits that are passing, that are going home, finally going to rest, because we are helping them go to rest. They go through us, kind of sort of like a portal to get home, because the light, you get spirits that pass through, or they rush through, or you can feel people around you, but there's no one there. You feel like you're being watched. Some people I know have expressed, because I've experienced it myself good many times, where it's like somebody else is seeing through your eyes. There for a while, I wasn't letting things come through, and it was because I felt like it was like, oh my goodness, like is someone going to be able to take over? It's like, no, I am connected. So like I'm always myself, and I am able to help. So when they say like you gotta believe this way, you gotta believe that way, or you're not gonna make it to heaven, you're not gonna be good, you're this, you're that. No. You're gonna save yourself and your guides, your angels, your ancestors, your past loved ones. They're there to help, and they're always around you, whether you see or feel them or not. And I know that there's a lot of you that are really starting to wake up and believe that. And I'm telling you right now, if you voice that to somebody and someone tells you that you're crazy, you need the hospital or something like that, no, you just need to find someone who understands. Someone who has and is going through it. It's kind of like when you go to group. And in some cases, group settings help. And in some cases, it don't. You just need that one-on-one time with somebody who is not going to judge, because they know exactly what you're going through, because they've gone through it. Or they're going through it. So sometimes it helps to like do a journey to help one another, because everybody has something to offer each other. And you don't need to walk into a building to get that help. You don't need to go relive everything all the time and take a pill for it, because the pill does not get rid of it. It subsides it. It dumbs it down, but most of the time, you end up more depressed than what you were beforehand. Because I've had people tell me that they've taken medication and they just felt like crap. They didn't feel like much life. So it's like, well, I'll deal with the symptoms instead of dealing with this crap, because like I'm worse off than I was. And more people are finding that out. And don't let somebody have you feeling less than what you really are, because you are a great person. You are an awesome human being. And we all can change. And like I said, we weren't born evil. We weren't born dark. We weren't born greedy or ignorant. We were brainwashed. And yes, we do have our own way of thinking. But when you have a program that is drilling it, like a lot of schools are drilling it, they're not putting in schools the right stuff. We should be learning life skills, not about something that's going to keep it all the corruption and greed and fighting and everything going. We keep building this stuff for mass destruction instead of building stuff for good. They destroy houses, and then there's no place for anybody to live. Where's the sense in that? What the frick are you fighting for? Because it ain't for the people. You want to play army? Go play army somewhere else. It's like a chess game. And what do? They put the pawns up first, unless you got a really good leader. I played chess there one day at the hospital, and I wasn't even really paying attention to what I was doing. And within 5 moves, I had the person in checkmate, and it had nothing to do with whether they were able to play or not, because I wasn't paying attention. And I put one pawn, it was 1 or 2 pawns, I put them forward a little bit, just so that I could bring my knights and bishops and all that out. And I took the king out with the queen. On the 5th move, it was checkmate. And then I had a game of Risk. I wasn't trying to take over anybody else's country. I was protecting my own. And then I got allies to help me protect it. I wasn't letting anybody in. So, yeah, I just heard someone say, what's that got to do with the tea in China? It's got to do with a lot of things, because it means that I protect my people. And it's like, let's keep the bad guys out. And help others see that, like, wait a minute. We don't want this. We don't want to be fighting. And we don't want the greed or ignorance. And some of us, we get out of it and then we go back in because we can't find people who want to believe us. So we feel that we got to go back in the matrix in order to fit in, so that we're not misfits. Be a misfit. Because a misfit is beautiful. A misfit is vibrant. A misfit, when you walk in the room, you light it up. And I know that I was lighting up when that man come up to me today. He didn't like my light. And I say, too bad for him. Because if you're trying to get people to believe like you sure the frig don't tell them that, well, if you don't believe in Jehovah, then we don't want to talk to you. What? I believe in God, but because I don't refer to the name? Right? God does not need to be said by name. Because, like I said, God is within here. He doesn't need you to say his or her name, their name, the name. Because as I said, well, God is God, and God does not need to be said by a name. People who want idols feel they have to be said by a name. Whoa, oh, yeah. Love is God. God is love. Love is God. Love is the infinite energy. And we're being shown that we can do this. And once I really tap in to my ability and what I can do, I'm going to be coming out and showing. And don't be afraid, because you can do it too. I think the reason why we had a lot of our stuff was taken from us is because we started using it for bad. I don't know if some of you have ever watched the show Charmed. I love that show because I could resonate with it, because it was like, this is like, I could see it all. And it's a Phoebe, because they were using their powers for personal gain. The powers were taken from them, so they had to earn them back to use them for good. Mi istumi, mi kushkle le crean, te cria totally crean. Si que tu tarian, que tu tipi, si mi lona ene kia ala sele tolia ta si tu ye. Piki tu eskia, mishkia, piki tu yes, sule ala recreata, e quindi mi che tore si mi do tala appetito e. Actually had someone today, and it's true. Like we were talking, and it's true. There's a lot of a lack of inner faith. Okay, because it's like we all profess, like for the most part, like everybody has different gods and what have you. Okay, and it's because we are all gods, and like we profess for there to be one infinite God. Okay, and it's like you worship one God. Okay, one God, like it's all of us, because it's in here. God is within you, and that's what I say. We were all made in the image of God. Okay, some of us came from different universes, galaxies, what have you. Okay, so it's a lack of inner faith. Okay, and when we do that, like we got to sit back and realize that we say we're not supposed to judge others, but we're judging each other for our different beliefs and religions, or what have you, whatever it may be. And it's like, why? Why not everybody just be open to just kind of look and say, hey, I could see that, or anything's possible. We're moving into the age of the Aquarius. Okay? And it can be scary, can be confusing, overwhelming. And some of us, we just can't handle it because we don't understand. But like I said, when you start talking, don't care about what other people think or what they're going to think or say because of what have you. Because once you start speaking out, you're going to find that there are more and more people out there than what you think. I know because I've been doing it. Everywhere I go, I speak the language. I love it. And other people, they just like, it's like, wow, what are you speaking? I've never heard that before. But everybody's heard every other language, but you've never heard this. Ask yourself that. Why haven't I heard that? Well, in actuality, we did hear it many, many lifetimes ago. And it's been suppressed because we've not been able to relax. It's been hard for us to meditate because, yes, there are a lot of different frequencies and noises out there. It just pisses you off. Because it pisses me off. You can hear the friggin' sounds going through the electrical wires, through your fridge, through your lights, through your plugins. You got the motor sounds. It's like, wait a minute. Why do we have to have all this sound? If you watch the movie Cinderella, the new one, I think it was like 2020 or 2021 or something like that, it came out. And there's the mice, they're in adult form, or in human form. And they're sitting on the carriage. And they start realizing that their stuff can make sound. So they were going, man, humans are noisy. We are. But humans have laughter. It's the machinery. It's the other stuff that is the noise. And it causes us to get angry. You wonder where, like, you're calm one minute and then you wonder, like, what the frig just happened there? Where'd that come from? You're flipping shit. Excuse me. Think of what happened different. Did some kind of sound go by? Because I've said about autistic people, and I've heard, and they do, they say, like, they just want the noise to shut up. Autism, autosensitive. Right? That it is true. I know that, like, I just want sounds to shut up. I just want to go deep in the woods and just sit there. I like going in the woods and just sitting there. And then hearing the birds chirp, and I love hearing the crickets, the frog peepers. That's God's sounds. All this stuff. Like, we're in the 21st century. Okay? Our ancestors, they had it right. They're not the stupid ones. So, yeah, I want to say we are, because a lot of it we are. We're dumb, we're ignorant. When I say dumb, it's not, it's more we're mute and we don't want to say nothing because we're afraid of the repercussions. But like I said before, this is happening because if they can keep fear, then people won't stand up for themselves. So then you become you. It's time. Activate your throat chakra. Speak. Speak your truth. The song, we're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. And the ones that aren't taking it anymore, they're not taking it for a reason, and they're standing up for you, only you're getting angry with them. Because in order to make change, yes, there's going to be some chaos. But the more and more people that stand together, making the change, that's when change happens. E pulito tore serutudai. Nikatorena ekatatoye seladode. Pikitorese eshkuleskria. Tikitunimi. Tikriatadai. Take the fear. Like, say, here, mother. Take that, please. Okay, here, universe, take it and sort of transmute it. But transmute it. You can transmute it. I get angry sometimes, and yes, I do flip. I do flip poop. Because it's like, hey, enough is enough. Did you just hear yourself? Right? Do you listen to what you say to other people and then you make like, oh, you're a good person? When you do that and you act like when you're out in the open with other people around, you act one way in some cases, and then you get behind closed doors and you act another way. Well, when you're out in the open and you act in a good way, and then you go home and you treat other people like crap, but you're treating them good in front, you're a freaking poser. Tiskina motorena. Tiskelen rieskroi. Kitu binoma la ekadama kitatae skaditoi. Kitatan, tikidetta kurietta tikriaskro kumba tikrietta duni krei. Pikiriator skrei. Sikiriatoi. Pikitorei mai. Sikirai, skamiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumiaskumias Tukudui. Tukianshkalemane. Tukudui. Tukudui. Pisiano mone. Be who you are. Who you truly are, not someone that, like, someone else says you are because that's what they say or that's what they want you to be. If you have a dream, follow the dream, but as I said, don't try to get there on the back of others and drown them. Ask for help, but don't expect them to do the work for you because they can't. It's like cheating. You can't really get there by cheating because you will get caught for cheating. Maybe it's not the next day. But deep down, you yourself know how to get there without using somebody else to get you there. As I said, we ask for help because everybody has something to offer in a good way. But sometimes we just let our egos get in the way from asking for the help. And we don't swallow our pride, which that can get in the way too. Be proud of the things that you accomplished. But also know that you're allowed to ask for help, and it doesn't make you weak. Okay? It actually makes you very strong. And the same as people say, oh, well, don't cry, suck it up, pussycat. Well, if you feel you need to cry, cry. Because it actually takes a big person to cry. A strong person to cry, because that means that they're comfortable with themselves. They're comfortable with their emotions. So don't let something or someone or a group or what have you tell you how to live your life. Be good, be kind, be loving, be compassionate, be understanding, be caring. Be a light in the darkness to help someone else get home. Show kindness, not greed and ignorance. We all have weaknesses, but our strengths are way more powerful. Descriata noisklea. Bikituese, si pitutore, and mekatatai antukitai. Si kitutore, di sule skiriata la escule. Kipitona me askren. The kitutore siretai. Kishkren no in a criana monitoe, se puturita tai, kitidoni ai se no gorskale. Skitudoi. So I'm going to leave you all with that, because maybe you sat and you listened to it all, or maybe you felt like, lady, go to the hospital. Already been there. They diagnosed me as unknown. I'm from out of this world. And that's okay, because I'm proud to say I am. So I want you to all be big, bold, brave. Most importantly, be yourself. I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, and most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting and willing to receive it. Stay strong. Be kind. Keep going and never give up. And always be yourself. I love you all. Have a great evening and a blessed day. Mishkirian boskiriata. Tiskian. And